Let's say that's good. I don't know. Cypherin's here too. Hi, Cypherin.
Hey.
You hear an echo, huh? What are you hearing an echo on?
Oh wait, I think that's just me. That's just me.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
worry about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You just mute the VLC side. Or whatever. I don't know what you got going on.
Yep, got it.
All right. Hey, good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to join you all this morning for the second game here in RGLove. A game that I've actually never run for RGLove before, I don't think. Because I feel weird saying that I love this game. This game's a bastard-coated bastard with bastard filling, but it is a game that has meant a lot to me over these past couple years. So, it felt right to play for an event like this, especially, nowadays. So, I'm excited to play it. It's been a while, so we'll, kick the dust off as we go. But it should be a lot of fun. So, what do you think, Sai? Should we get going here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Nope, not here we go, because we triggered a cutscene here. Okay. All right. Now here we go. I'm going to skip that. And I'm going to skip that, too. I apologize for any TV echo as well, guys.
Good luck, enemy.
Thank you. All right, here we go. Well, hello, Dagger. Oh, man. You don't understand how much that warms my heart that I just got the dagger for this.
That is an extremely hard trick to pull off to get the dagger in the beginning.
It is a 2-frame window, I believe. It's been, you know what? Let's say it's a 2-frame window, even if it's not, because it sounds impressive. I'm pretty sure So the way that the items work is that when you're picking up a weapon out of the chest, depending on what weapon you have, it can change the drop percentage of the other possible weapons. But but they rotate basically on a frame basis. So you're starting out, and I think it's like an 8% chance. Or maybe a 4% chance. I forget the exact percentages, but basically, it rotates every 2 frames or something like that. So you don't have a lot of opportunity to get this, but you got it. And I died. Oh, that was like the world's slowest attempt at jumping. But whatever, we have the dagger, so I don't even care. It's all gravy. I was doing that, and I was watching it happen in real time. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna make this. Am I gonna make this? I'll probably make it. Oh, I didn't make it. Okay, let's get the armor here. Oh, wait. Nope. That's the chest now. Okay, because I didn't spawn the first one. Which is actually technically the second chest on the stage. Because you don't actually spawn the first available chest in this stage. We've actually bypassed another chest as well.
There'll be another opportunity.
Oh, yeah. I mean, oh, well, there it is. Oh, but do I really want to do this like this? Yeah, I do. Okay. You don't want to mess around with these skulls. Even on normal, these skulls can have tricky timing. But as you progress, so second loop, and then if you play on higher difficulties, these skulls will drop at a faster speed. So
you're a brave man. I would have said screw it and just kept on.
Well, I got a couple thousand runs of this game under my belt, so I feel like I can get away with a little something. Let's go get the gold here. I mean, if we're not even doing the tidal wave skip, what the heck, right? All right. All right. It wouldn't be a marathon run of this game if something wacky didn't happen in the first stage, though. Wait a minute, is that a thing from you doing commentary for me, Sai? I'm just putting this together. It certainly can't be my fault. It must be something. No, of course not. Oh, no! Why did I not die? Okay, great. That's fantastic. You all saw me shoot that rosebud.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hey, good. Steel armor. All right. Everything's fine. Hey, Shema, thanks for the 100 bits, man. Die, cockatrice. You don't belong in this world. Oh, look at that. All right.
Very nice mash.
Whew. Get that double button mash, baby. All right. One stage down. Let's see, what is that? 15 more to go, I think. 14 more to go, something like that.
And even for the any percent run, you do the second loop too, correct?
Yes, Cypherin. So if you go, eventually they. Okay, this is a long run, and this stage in particular is long. So I'll explain the whole thing. Yes, the any percent run of this game is both loops because that is beating the game. There was an event, and forgive me, I don't remember the name of the event, but I think there's an annual speedrunning event for France where you play different, and it's over the course of several weeks, I think, where you play several different games and then categories. And a couple years back, I want to say 2016 maybe, they did a goal for Super Ghouls and Ghosts beat the first loop. And this was for some event. And what happened was a bunch of speedrunners from France were like, hey, where's the leaderboard for beating the first loop? To which, for a long time, we responded, that's not a thing. That's just beating half of the game. So, colloquially, long story short, a leaderboard ended up being added after much hand-wringing and complaining on both sides. And that leaderboard exists now. You can go on to speedrun.com and see the one loop leaderboard. But colloquially, the category is called French percent because if you look at the leaderboard, it is populated predominantly by French speedrunners. And I don't know why. Oh, that's not good. I didn't think that would hit me at all, honestly. I thought the hitbox was good there. That's for making fun of... I wasn't even making fun. That's just seriously how it went. That wasn't my joke about the French percent thing. I mean, it's funny because there's also a category for the beginner difficulty of this, and only German runners, I think, are on that leaderboard, and they just call it German percent, and they don't get upset about that. That's their own name for it. So that's how it goes. But yeah, so if you one loop is a thing for this game. I sort of feel like with this game, with this series, I don't really know why you'd want to sell yourself short like that. And kind of just do one loop. Because not many people can beat these games. It's very difficult.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But I always say that you don't beat Super Ghouls and Ghosts, you conquer it. You have to, or any of the Ghouls and Ghosts games. You don't beat them, you conquer them. Because, I mean, they want to kill you. They are very well programmed to try to ruin you as the gamer. And so if you can get the better of the game, I mean, that's a great accomplishment. So to just do one loop. I mean, this is just me talking for me. But I think, it's great. I mean, that's more than most people have ever done, but also, if you can do one loop, you can do two loops. It's just a little bit more time you have to put in. It's not like it's impossible. It's more difficult, sure, but I mean, you've already seen 90% of the game at that point. So to answer your question, that was the and I did take up the entirety of the stage, so I'm pretty happy about that. That got us right to the boss. But yes, the any percent is both loops. Oh, it's gonna hit me too. I am wildly misjudging hitboxes here today. Okay. Jump.
Nice dodge.
Oh no! Oh! I tried to jump, but I was in the shooting animation. Alright, so who wants to hear a story about another version of this game? Because now we have to wait 3.5 another minutes. That's junk, man. I couldn't jump back. Oh, hey, wait a second. Now I can jump. I was just frustrated jumping around. Like, wait a second, I'm going to jump off into the water here. There you go, France. I died on Storm Cesaris. Are you happy? One loop is bullshit, he says. That's what he gets. I'll take the L.
That's a great question, Creeping Dust. So Creeping Dust asks,
Yes.
if you have a great normal run, can you just submit half of it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
one
absolutely. I think the world record run is actually just the first half of the world record run. Like the main world record. Like Malcolm's run. Like Malcolm submitted to it because, you know, why not? Malcolm is the long-standing, like forever world champion of this game. And yeah, I think it's just the first half of his record run. So yes, absolutely. That's true for stuff like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out as well, where you have an RTA leaderboard as well as the single segment leaderboard. I mean, some of the strats in MTPO are a little faster to do single segment versus RTA, but you can submit a single segment run for RTA and vice versa.
Really quick,
No, go ahead, please.
So yeah, we got a $10 donation to Danielle's Greg going towards June at episode 3, and he says, "Now is a good time for some donations. Stay strong, enemy." Thank you, Yells. Thank you for that $10.
I don't even know what sort of armor progression I'm looking on here. I think this should be gold, this one right here. Yeah, which means the next one is the blue shield. We don't really care about the blue shield so much. Although, I guess I'll get it. It doesn't really hurt anything to get. We're gonna lose it in the next stage anyway, if all goes well.
What's the difference between the red and blue shield?
Oh, that's a great question. Okay, so the shields, in addition to taking damage, and I think you can take 3 hits with the blue shield from small projectiles versus 1 with the red shield. So there's that. But the main event purpose of the shield is whether you have no shield, the red shield, or the blue shield, it actually speeds up your magic charging time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is like this. So much of this game is obtuse like that. It's just like not obvious at all. From the chests and how they progress based on, you know, what armor level you're in to, you know, oh yeah, it turns out, I mean, now I can charge my magic really fast, and I would love to lose it real quick. Once I lose the shield the next stage, I can show you. But, yeah, it basically this magic charge is exceptionally fast right now. Which is great, because we're going to use it against this boss. Now, the charge speed doesn't really matter here, because we can do this without any shield and be successful. Oh, right, also we died, so we can't do the normal quick kill. So that's cool. Okay, but because I could charge super fast... Oh, no! Never mind! Get out of there. What? Okay! Got away with one there! That should do it. Holy cow! That was the makeup for not being able to jump out of that attack animation. Holy cow. Okay, see, that's the sort of hitboxes I'm expecting with some of these things. You're like, enemy, why are you just taking hits from stuff? Because that's you can get away with stuff like that. Alright, this is really where business picks up in this game. Which, I mean, I say that knowing that, you know, I mean, a lot of people never made it past the first stage in this game, which was true of me before I had to learn the speedrun. And I say had to learn the speedrun because I did a race for this. The first Super 16. There we go. Let's lose that shield. So yeah, see, I had to take a couple hits from the fire to lose that shield. But now let's kill this guy real quick. This is a Grillion, and then see how much slower my magic is to charge versus before. So it's pretty substantial, which matters at very specific times in the run. A lot of the times it's not that big of a deal, but when you need that fast charge, you need that faster charge, and not having your shield in those times can really hinder what you're trying to do. Alright, we're gonna do a platform skip here. Because something's gotta go right.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know it looks scary. And we get to see our first Demon's Crest. I mean, Red Arima.
No. Firebrand's cousin, no.
This is one of the worst sections of the entire game. This is the towers here on stage 3, which I believe is the demons. Oh no, wait, that's the next stage. Is demons. But this is Vermilion Horror. Excuse me. I guess everything's red. So basically, what we're dealing with here is these gargoyle statues popping up all over the place, but also these bats. These effing bats, where they always try to keep about 3 on screen at a time. Occasionally, the 3 is the supposed max. However, I've seen as many as 7 on screen at a time. And at that point, we had 4 there for a second, so there you go. But yeah, basically the game slows to a crawl, and you are just inundated with bats. It's a true infestation, and you get really out of sorts in those times. It can be very difficult to hit the bats, especially if you have different weapons, which can't necessarily shoot straight in front of you or cover the area that they travel in, because they kind of come up from underneath the platform sometimes, or right above you, work their way down. Oh, you got a good path from those goblins there. Thank you, guys. Very nice. All right. So that actually went really well. All right, our first good stage. He says before he kills the boss. Stand there. Death Crawler. More like Dead Crawler. Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, that boss is really easy if you have that magic. A lot of stuff in this game is really easy if you have this magic, which is why, one of the many reasons why the dagger is so great. Not only do you have great firepower, because you can have 3 shots on screen at one time, and they come out very quickly, but you have that great dragon magic, which just absolutely destroys anything in its path.
I love the effects on this stage. Admittedly, the next section after this sort of a little sick.
Yeah, yeah, motion sickness warning coming up here in about 30 seconds, let's say. There's going to be overload of mode 7.
Mode 7?
Yeah, which you're seeing now a little bit, but it's going to get real nutty in a bit. It's just going to be back and forth rocking, so if you get a little seasickness or motion sickness, maybe you want to turn away for a little bit. We apologize for that in advance.
Yeah, just only for a little bit.
You keep the audio on, just, avert your gaze. Alright, here we go. Yeah, so this is the part. Rocking back and forth. So what I'm trying to do here is actually despawn some of these blueberries, because I can. There's not a whole lot else to do during this auto-scroller, so that's one of the things. Especially if you have a weapon that's not the dagger, it's very convenient to kind of go back on the platform and try to get rid of it more quickly. So yeah, we're just avoiding these steam vents and trying to get rid of the blueberries as we are able to. Mep says if you're going to get a good stage, that was the one to get, the stage that we just beat. Wholeheartedly agree. That's a very good one. That and 2-7 would be my choices. Stage 3 on either side of the loops, and then stage 7 on loop 2 in particular. Because that means the toughest boss fight really well.
I like that early jump into the exit.
Yeah,
there.
That was a great fight, actually. 4:54 is a very solid time for this fight. So, like in other games, when those heads are on top of each other, they will take more damage. I guess the damage compounds. And so with Dagger, as long as they're reasonably cooperative, I can put hurt on them pretty quickly, and those heads were quite cooperative. Okay, so we got the Bad Luck Flower. Although, in most cases, I find the early spawn to be good. Now, having said that, it will own me as soon as I jump over here. Oh, it actually didn't. Thank you. Good Luck Flower. Okay, so we're going to play this a little safe here. Alright. This is a cowardly strat, I won't lie to you, but it is very effective. Using the dragon magic there like that. It just really, really simplifies that section. And being out of practice as I am, I feel like that was the way to go.
You said earlier you have to conquer this game. I say, whatever technique you use. Kick it while it's down.
And I say that too because, like, I was just thinking right now, like, well, I mean, you might say that you could survive this game, but I don't really think that's true because I think you need a lot of knowledge about this game to be able to really do any well at it. Because, you know, coming in completely blind and trying to figure everything out and, you know, get the proper weapons and keep your armor and everything and just survive with only 2 hits that you can take, that's asking a whole lot. So I think, I mean, that extra due diligence that I feel like is required, I feel like that, and then, you know, the actual execution of the game, I feel like that puts you in conquering territory more than just survival. Okay, let's see here. Do I want this one? That's chest number 1. We want chest number 2. For shield. Wait, is that right? Let's hope. It is. Okay. So we talked earlier about times where we want our magic to charge at the proper speed. This boss is definitely one of those times. We don't need the fast charge, but we do need the red shield level of speed. Well, again, need is a strong word, but for the strats that I do, that's my typical way. Get out of here. That boss's name is something like BL Allison, which is the prefix being like Beelzebub, and it's basically like the Lord of Ice. You know, in the way that Beelzebub is the Lord of Flies. So yeah, that's kind of a weird name. If you look up the name, you'll find Berua Roken or something along those lines, and that's the what's it called when you take a Japanese word and kind of try to pronounce it in English? That's kind of like the it's just like the pronunciation of an English word in Japanese, basically, or an English name. So yeah, basically the Lord of Ice. So now I can kind of like trick old old Astaroth there by kneeling at his foot. So he'll stop in place and he will shoot his fire at a low angle, which will be really important in the next loop. For now, we just want to kind of stop him in place because we can use our dragon magic to own him. Now we just kind of deal with these little twerky imps. And we're just going to borrow these platforms real quick and make our way up. Yeah. Good. Sometimes that magic will not kill the cockatrice head there. And I think it's because if he tries to shoot, or if he starts extending, well, if he starts extending, the hitbox probably changes and he doesn't take damage in the same way. But if he starts to shoot, I've never been completely clear on this, but I'm pretty sure when they have their mouth full of what they're shooting at you, I don't think they take the same damage or maybe any damage. Oh, man. That's dumb. The hitbox strikes again.
You know, when you mentioned like playing with blind, how rough it could be.
Yeah.
Like this boss was one of the reasons it took me like 17 hours. It was a rough fight.
The first time I beat this, and it wasn't blind because I had learned the first 3 stages, although not like, super well. Ah, okay, good. All right. Nah, we're just gonna not do that. Okay. So, even though this is the second form of the boss, he is considered easier because he is much more consistent in what he does. Like, he always shoots his fire at the same angle. He won't all... Oh, let's give me the free pass. I'm not using it. He won't always shoot his Freezy Pop lasers, but, I mean, it's pretty obvious once you get a little bit used to it, whether or not he's doing that. Like, you can see the telltale glimmer coming out of his midsection. There we go. Alright, so not too bad.
Beautiful.
Other than, you know, just sitting there and on top of the boss. Which, that was the correct thing. I was like a hair too close, a pixel or two. So that's it. That's the first loop. And now she talks too much. Oh, that's Princess Print. So I'm gonna get water for you real quick. I'll be right back. I love the single G's, by the way. Y'all are fantastic.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the bow too. I like the bow and the homing shots, but when those homing shots linger on the screen, I think it causes issues, if I recall. It's been a while since I actually played this. So
Bonjour, as we say right now. Bonjour. Oh man, I forgot a bunch of splits. Okay. Can you spawn, please? Thank you. Right. Not that I want that chest. I just want that chest to be there so I can get the next chest and get armor. So we're gonna play this stage very similar to how we played it on the first loop, because we don't have armor, or we don't. I'm sorry, we don't have an armor upgrade, I should say. So we get that green armor, and this is what we're gonna use for the rest of the stage. Green armor, when you don't need magic, green armor is faster than gold armor, because gold armor has some extra elements to it, some graphical elements that actually slow things down. Oh boy. Oh, alright. That high spawning casket, those are always a trip to deal with. Iconic music. Haha! Not to be denied that time. I had to do it for my conscience. I could not go without getting the tidal wave skip on both loops. Okay. Alright, let's see if yeah, okay, good. It died this time. How nice. How generous of the enemy to die when it takes damage. Wow! Almost got a jump eaten there. I don't know why I even bothered shooting my chest, other than I usually do, just for fun. Okay. Hey, why are you still alive? There you go. Validation chest. I think it's just... I just always like to see, because sometimes you don't trigger some of the chest's yells. So I think I just like to see what's going to pop up from that chest from time to time. And it's a good thing to do if you get there without your armor or the weapon that you want as well, because you know you might get one of those two things. I mean, we got it on the first loop. We got armor back right there. So oftentimes it'll be a trap though, because that's the number of the armor crossed with the number of chests you've seen in the stage will yield a trap in most cases. And the trap is literally a bear trap. Yeah. So Mep says, I will never play through this one, only Ghosts and Goblins for NES. I echo the sentiments of Jesse Lockhart right there. I feel for you in my soul. That game stinks. And I don't even just think the NES version stinks. I think Ghosts and Goblins stinks. Arcade, NES, whatever. I just don't think it pales in comparison to its predecessors, or its successors. I know how words work. And I mean, you know, obviously it's the first one, so I'm not saying like, oh, it's garbage, it's terrible, but like by comparison, it's pretty bad. So yeah, I would strongly encourage you to play these. If you can beat that, you can certainly beat these other ones. I mean, that's a very simple game, but you know, there's so much less available to you in it. And the NES version in particular, boy, I mean, some of the bullshit in that game. I mean, we're talking about like you'll be walking along and just lose your armor because the way that the memory stores elements in that game, it can't. It'll like trigger bosses to spawn on top of you, even though they're not actually on top of you. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Yeah. If you get certain chests, or if you don't get certain chests, the game's like, oh, we can't handle all these sprites. We gotta get rid of the armor. So yeah, So like for one frame, you'll see the boss spawn on top of you, and then like, oh no, I was over here the whole time. It's ridiculous.
I think to this day I haven't gotten off the second stage yet.
That's, I feel like, where most people can make it to. It's brutal. Okay, so we're spawning the chest out of order. We actually spawned that chest to the right already before you ever saw it on screen. And that allows us to get our full armor progression, so we go from steel to green to gold. Bam, 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 just like that. If we had gotten those chests as they would normally appear on the screen, we would have got a magician, I think, and then green armor. So we would not have been able to get up the gold, which means we would not have the magic for this boss fight, which means we could not do the quick kill, which means, it would be slower. That's why I call it the quick kill. Turns out, these tricky name conventions. What does quick kill mean? Well,
there was a nice little swag slide you did on one of the chests that you grabbed back there for the armor. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. At least on my screen, like Arthur wasn't moving, like you didn't see his legs moving. He just slid across the top of the chest. It was pretty cool.
So Hawk Laser says stage 3 is the one you remember having the hardest time with. Yeah, we were talking about that in the first loop, how that stage can be very unforgiving, so I certainly understand that. It is a stage that has been a thorn in my side many times in running this game. This is a game with a lot of little RNG, and it can be really frustrating when you're trying to get a PB, and an enemy will just spawn where you can't deal with it directly. You either have to stop and deal with it, or just lose your armor. In which case, run's basically sunk. Oh no! Oh! What am I thinking right here? Okay, apparently we are doing full-blown speed stuff. I bailed out of that real quick. So basically, I just progressed on in this stage as if I was doing a speedrun, having been talking about the speedrun right there. And I was going to go forward without killing that imp, which is a really bad idea because that imp can be a real jerk and ruin your day. He's got the turbo jets on most of the time. So whenever I play this game more fast casually, that's the first thing to go, is killing these imps. Avoiding killing these imps. I will stop and kill them if I'm doing it at a more casual pace as we are today. Platform skip again. You can land on those platforms too early, and you'll notice they're coming out of lava, so they will damage you. You can also stay on them too long, and they will disappear. the columns that come out of the lava, I should say. And of course, those other lavas have spikes underneath of them and on the sides. So if you get too close to the sides, they will damage you there as well. This game is just unrelenting in its cruelty. So we must be equally cruel in kind. Okay. Bats were basically cooperative.
Yeah.
Yeah, casually, yeah, exactly, Jesse. The Arimers are really nasty customers when you're playing casually. When you're doing speedrun strats, I mean, obviously, when you've put hundreds of hours into a game, they're not as bad. But basically, there's a bunch of different ways that you can deal with them, even if you don't have this loadout that I have right now with the gold armor and the dagger. This is not the only way that you can deal with them. It's certainly a very easy way to deal with them. That's Goblin Niagara Falls there, by the way. That waterfall of goblins there. On the first loop, it's just a waterfall. On the second loop, it's Niagara Falls because they come a lot more frequently. There we go. It's just amazing how perfectly the dragon magic lines up with the Deathcrawler animation, so you kill it straight away.
Yeah, it's one of the slickest kills.
Yeah, it's really nice. There is an even faster version of that requires some effort, so I wasn't doing that today. I said, you know what? Perhaps no way. Okay, alright, Axe Armors. What? Okay. Hi, I would very much like to climb up here. No, not with that fireball there, though. Can I even get up here now? Okay. Alrighty. Wow. I've never actually seen that section go quite that way before. Usually you just die. So I don't know that I'm really happy that I survived. It probably would have been easier to just die there because we did not get the early chest, which means that we're going to be lean on armor here, which will slow things down in a couple different ways. We're okay. Let's see. Onto the spikes! No, I'm just joking. So again, hitboxes in this game are kind of wacky. So you actually have to like kind of dip into the spikes a little bit to make that jump. The top of the spikes actually, when you jump up there and try to jump over them, the top part of the spikes hitbox actually extends pretty far. So you have to clear that. So it's a little deceptive. Now when you know it's really good strats, when I stop and kill that pillar right there. Because there's this whole really swaggy kill for that thing, but I don't have the confidence right now, man. Just gotta survive by any means. Oh, hello, Axe Armor. It's not even Axe Armor. Yeah, it doesn't have armor. Okay, make this jump real quick. Okay. So this should be chest 4. It's not! Okay, well, we're gonna be naked then. It's fine. That was chest 3, I guess. I don't think I spawned actual chest 3, which would have been our second chest here. Anyway, when you're naked, chest 4 has armor. 4 and 8, I think, have the armor when you're naked. Yeah, everything changes, though, depending on what level of armor you have. Which is, pretty annoying. That's a really nice thing. Honestly, like, so talking about, like, which GNGs to play. Honestly, I think, Ghouls and Ghosts, the precursor to this one, is the best one. Because it's got a little bit of that simplicity along the lines of the original Ghosts and Goblins, but you have 4-directional shooting, which is awesome, and you only have the single jump, and you have a little bit of magic. The magic's kind of lame in that game, though, for the most part. But everything feels really good in that game. It's really difficult at times, but it's also much shorter. So I feel like that's a really good entry point to the series if you want to play it. This is just kind of a really slow game in a lot of ways. Not even just because of the auto-scrollers, but you know the stages. I mean, this is a console game, whereas Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblins were arcade games ported to consoles. So they very much have that different feel to them as being a console-specific release.
Have you had a chance to play Ultimate? And is that interesting at all?
Yeah, I played Ultimate. It's really cool. It's pretty easy from a getting through it the first time standpoint. Although I wouldn't say it's like an easy game. But I got through the first loop in about 3 hours, which I know it probably sounds like a long time, I imagine. But I consider that pretty good for first time on a GNG game. But yeah, I have it. I streamed it ages ago. Oh wait, right. I did a jump here.
3 hours is short to me.
Well, that was for one loop. Maybe it's 2.5. I don't know. Let's call it 2.5. Who can remember? Okay, so there's a bow. We're not gonna get that. Oh, the bow's all right. The bow's an okay weapon. It has some weird properties where when you upgrade it, it will try to home in on enemies. I say try because often it fails. And you can have instances where one of the 3 bolts won't go off screen. And turns out you can't shoot again until all 3 bolts go off screen, which means you can be stuck sometimes being unable to attack, which is a pretty bad situation to find yourself in this game. Okay, that was a less cowardly kill of those flowers, so we made up for the first loop. Although, see, not particularly fast, though. I love the music in this stage so much. It's, I don't know.
It's probably my favorite track.
Yeah, for sure. For me, too, yeah. So you can actually go through these ice snakes briefly after they spawn. Their hitbox is sort of delayed in spawning after the sprite.
Definitely. That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, the game definitely gives you some stuff like that to try to ease your life a little bit. Oh, look at that Arimer kill. He still got it. Skip that chest. That's why I was confused last time. Okay, yeah, because normally, if you're getting chest here, you would get your armor back. Okay. So now this will be the gold chest. Yeah. We have to jump over these avalanches.
They don't outright kill you.
They just push you to death. Yes. They will push you into those spikes, which are basically pits. Oh, don't you try to fist me? Are you kidding me? You jerk. Yeah, that's what you get. Oh, I'm gonna grab you! No, you're not. We regret to inform you that the 45-minute estimate was lost when I died on stage 2 of the first loop due to stupidity. Due to discussing French percent. That was my failure. Talk about French percent, play like French percent. What can I say? I'm just joking. I'm just kidding, everyone. You've seen how I'm playing. I can't make fun of anyone right now. This stage is so brutal, casually, and it's so easy with the speedrun. That makes me feel very good when that's true in the game. Like, oh, I learned a little bit about this game, and now it's like remarkably easy. Because I remember doing the first run through there and it whooping my ass. All right, here we go. This stage can be hell. So now, Cypherin, what do I have to do here in this stage?
All right, I have one job to do. Don't forget the bracelet.
That's right. Thank you. You did it expertly at AGDQ last year, and you've done it well again today, my friend. So thank you. And now let's go get that bracelet. We spawned that first chest because the second chest and the 4th or 5th chest will have weapons when you're in gold armor. So we're gonna do this, and it has a little bit of a spawn animation. So we're gonna cast that magic, kill the Arimer, and then pick up the Goddess bracelet, which is our MacGuffin for the game. And so even though at close range this weapon is extremely powerful, it does have problems. Namely that it doesn't go through... it doesn't have piercing the way that the daggers do. It does not have magic. And the damage that it does degrades the further it travels. So you want to be up real close to things to do damage, and as you can imagine, being up real close to things, especially boss things, can be perilous. So I hope for the best here. Oh, you jerk!
Okay, we're still in there. We're still in there.
Okay, whew! Alright. Alright. So now we have to play it safe, because we don't want to lose 2 minutes of time that we put in so far. Britches got a little singe there. So again, so the other thing is your magic travels greater distance when you have. It also can clear out this fire when you have gold armor. When you have no armor, as I do now, it travels a lesser distance. Which means that the damage that it does drops off really quickly. And also means you just can't straight up hit the boss sometimes. So playing it safe kind of stinks, but you know, it beats the alternative. Ugh. I've actually timed out on this fight before in my initial playthrough of it.
When I played this blind, I didn't know you could.
Oh, there we go. All right. All in all, I'll take it. Anytime you get through 2-7 without a death, I think that's cause for celebration. Alright, let's see what you got here. Oh, a delayed pattern, thanks. Okay, so you can actually make it up there like that, but I don't know how to. I never did learn how to do that on the slow pattern. Medium and fast is my jam. Alright, speaking of... Hiya! Alright, we got 8 hits. Pretty good. There it is. It's a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. We just gotta wait and try to get this animation deal here. Oh, we didn't get it. Oh well. We did it! We conquered the game! A little bit slower than we wanted to, but, you know, that's what happens when you die on a 3.5-minute auto-scroller. That's it. Thank you, Sai. Thank you, everyone in chat. I will say, I guess, you know, well, just, yeah, I do love beating this game. It is satisfying every time. Even when you have, like, that real crummy run. And I guess this was sort of, this is a weird run, because I didn't feel like it was as bad as it was. Because, you know, 4709, or 06 is El Stinko, but it didn't feel like that way because of where the deaths were. You know, having to replay half of the first stage and then the long half of the second stage. Then us chatting, it kind of felt, you know, like we're just moving on, like we were moving on. And then losing armor here and there, you know. But, you know, it's pretty solid progression all the way through. But even in runs where you are struggling on 2-7, you know, the final 2 bosses, and things start going sideways. Once you beat Sardius and you hear this fanfare, man, it's great every time. It is truly a sense of accomplishment, and I just love this. This fanfare is one of the great endings to any video game, as far as I'm concerned. This and Super Metroid, I think, are just two of the best. So of course, Super Metroid will be up in the marathon later in the week. I believe that's I think that's Tuesday morning, although I might have the day wrong. Tuesday early afternoon, maybe. Thursday, I don't know. I don't know if it's all scheduled off the top of my head. But I do have more coming up. So, sorry, if you want to stick around, I don't know what your schedule's like. I don't mean to put you on the spot on air, but if you want to stick around and just hang out and chat for ActRaiser.
Yeah, I'll stick around.
Alrighty, great. Well, what we'll do, ladies and gentlemen, is we'll watch Arthur die here real quick. Because this dummy doesn't know how to jump in the post game sequence there. So good job, Arthur. See, look at that. He can't even jump, and I beat the game. How great am I? That's the way I like to look at it. So, we're going to have ActRaiser come up here. Just want to remind everyone that all donations do go towards the entirety of the RGLtv staff. It's roughly 30 people that you benefit. And that helps us to get to different events, GDQ and other similar events. It also helps us to replace and upgrade streaming equipment as needed. So it really benefits us a whole lot. Any amount is greatly appreciated, and we do have a lot of cool events or incentives that are available, not the least of which is one near and dear to my heart, which is the Metal Gear Solid All Cutscenes incentive. Now, that's a big one. It's $1,000 total for that one. But you're going to take a game that's going to be roughly an hour and a half long and make it over 5 hours with all those awesome Metal Gear Solid cutscenes that you know and love from your childhood. And if you've never seen them but you've heard about this Metal Gear Solid malarkey, it's probably worth checking out. So you can start chipping away at that now. That's one of our incentives coming up. That'll be Tuesday night that I'm playing that game. So. So you can donate towards that, donate to any of the other incentives that we have active right now. And, bits and subs and all that stuff go towards those as well. You can't designate bits and subs, but we'll just add it to whatever's coming up next. So, yeah, with that all being said, we'll switch over to ActRaiser, get that going, and another big old run coming up here on RGLove. So stick around, everyone. We'll switch over to the intermission screen and play a little bit of music and be